Charlie and his motorcycle crew were out for a casual ride through the countryside, but the peaceful ride took an unexpected turn when Charlie spotted something in the middle of the road, a tiny owl chick, shivering and alone. Charlie's instincts kicked in. He quickly picked up the fragile owl, feeling its rapid heartbeat and seeing the fear in its eyes. The recent storm must have separated the poor thing from its family, leaving it stranded. Charlie knew they couldn't just leave it there. He contacted the local wildlife rescue center, and within minutes, they were on their way. But as they waited, Charlie couldn't help but feel a growing sense of responsibility for the tiny creature. Despite his friend's suggestion to continue their ride, Charlie couldn't leave the owl behind. He stayed by its side, speaking gently to calm it. When the rescue team arrived, they took the owl from Charlie's hands with care. The group resumed their ride, but Charlie couldn't shake thoughts of the owl. A few days later, Charlie decided to visit the rescue center to check on the owl's condition. He found it resting in a small enclosure, its feathers slightly ruffled, but its eyes alert and curious. The caretakers told him the owl was doing well, but hadn't yet tried to fly. This concerned Charlie. An owl that couldn't fly couldn't survive in the wild. As Charlie stood there watching the owl, he felt a deepening bond. The owl seemed to recognize him, hooting softly as if to say thank you. Charlie's heart swelled with warmth, but he also felt a twinge of anxiety. What if the owl never learned to fly? What if it had become too dependent on humans? In the following days, Charlie became a frequent visitor at the rescue center, bringing treats and spending time with the owl, which he named Ollie. He grew more attached with each visit, and Ollie seemed to respond to him, hopping onto his arm and nuzzling into his jacket for warmth. But despite Charlie's growing connection with Ollie, he knew the owl needed to find its way back to the wild. Charlie had requested to take Ollie home with him so he could continue to care for the owl. The rescue center approved his request, recognizing Charlie's dedication to Ollie's well-being. One afternoon, Charlie decided to take Ollie, the little owl, outside for a change of scenery. He hoped the fresh air would encourage Ollie to spread his wings and perhaps even take his first flight. Charlie chose a quiet meadow at the edge of the forest, a peaceful spot where the grass grew tall and the trees offered shelter. He gently placed Ollie on a low branch, then stepped back to give him space. Ollie seemed hesitant, tilting his head as he observed his surroundings. Charlie was about to approach him when a sudden gust of wind whipped through the meadow, rustling the leaves and causing Ollie to lose his balance. The owl tumbled off the branch, falling into the tall grass. Charlie rushed to where he had landed, but Ollie was nowhere to be seen. The grass was thick and dense, and the owl's small size made it difficult to find him. He dropped to his knees and began searching through the grass, feeling around for any sign of Ollie. Panic started to set in. What if the owl had been injured in the fall? What if he had wandered off into the forest? Charlie couldn't bear the thought of losing Ollie after everything they had been through together. Just when Charlie was about to give up hope, he heard a faint hoot, almost inaudible over the wind. Charlie moved cautiously, pushing aside the tall blades until he found Ollie, huddled and shaking. Relief washed over him as he carefully picked up the owl, holding him close to calm his trembling. Charlie whispered soothing words, assuring Ollie that he was safe. As Charlie walked back with Ollie, he vowed to be more careful in the future. He understood that while Ollie needed to learn to fly, he wasn't ready to face the wild on his own just yet. One day Charlie took Ollie, the little owl, to a meadow nearby. The sun was warm, and a gentle breeze made it a good day for Ollie to try flying. Charlie set the owl on a low branch and stepped back to watch. Suddenly, a shadow passed over the meadow, and Charlie saw a large owl perched in a tree watching Ollie closely. Ollie looked scared, flapping his wings and making nervous noises. Charlie felt a strong need to protect the little owl. Was the big owl a danger? He rushed to grab Ollie, but the large owl did not attack. Instead, it hooted in a deep, calming tone, like it was trying to relax Ollie. It was then that Charlie understood. This wasn't an enemy. This was Ollie's mother, finally finding her lost baby. As Charlie walked back to his motorcycle, he knew he had helped reunite a family. The short time he spent with Ollie was meaningful, and he felt proud, knowing he was part of something important.